Good evening, everybody. The 552nd meeting of the Planning Board of the Village of Depew will come to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Member Agnew.
Here.
Member Fedorovich.
Here.
Member Matuzek. Here. Member Morawski.
Here.
And Chairman Maciejewski.
Here. Could everybody please rise for the pledge? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Give notification of the emergency exits, please.
The emergency exits are located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exits and evacuate the building.
Thank you. Okay, we have one item on the agenda for tonight. It's for the property located at 5836 Transit Road. Can we have the legal notice, please?
Please take notice that the Village of Depew Planning Board will hold a hearing on Thursday, April 6, 2023 at 7 p.m. A pre-board meeting begins at 6:30 p.m. in the conference room in the council chambers of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application for submission by Joseph Skubis for the property located at 5836 Transit Road, Depew, New York, 14043. The following matters to be reviewed. They are requesting the following. Requesting a special use permit to operate a motorcycle dealership in a C2 zone as per Chapter 260, Subset 26027, under the guidelines of Chapter 260, Subset 26033K, and of Chapter 260, Subset 26033N. Any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
Okay. I see you're here representing the project. Could you come forward, please, and state your name and your relationship to the project?
My name is Joe Skubis, and I'm the owner. Well, going to be the owner.
Okay, could you give us an overview of what you're proposing?
Yeah, it was a motorcycle, small engine repair shop. It's really it, simple and straightforward.
Okay, so you are looking at purchasing the property and the building?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what your plan is? Okay. Do you have a business right now anywhere else, or is this a new venture for you?
No, I got another business, a couple of them.
Okay. So I know you've probably been holding off because of the pending sale. But we've got a lot of questions. I mean, obviously, we looked at the building and the property. First of all, what would your days and hours of operation be?
The hours of operation would be from like 10 o'clock in the morning to roughly 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night.
Okay. 5 days a week?
Yep, 5 days a week.
5 days a week, Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday.
Okay. So obviously, you've done a lot of looking at the properties that you're anticipating purchasing it. It does need some TLC.
Mm-hmm.
It seems, the paint on the outside of the building, some block work needs to be done, restriking. The property itself, that going to the west end of the property line, I don't think that was ever intended to be a stone berm that's there. It's probably from years of snow plowing. That berm has to get leveled out. There's a lot of the trees need to be trimmed and just general cleanup all around the property. So that is something that we are definitely going to have to require. And again, it's going to be subject to our approval that you agree to do those things. And I'm sure just between your insurance and if you're taking a mortgage out, I'm sure people are going to do a inspection of the building. We just have concerns about the roof, the condition of the roof. Bob, you want to mention?
On the side wall there where the roof drains and the scupper side, it's the wall's deteriorating a little, the paint's peeling back and everything. Just concerned that might be water getting in there and doing that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's leaking on the inside. I didn't get on the inside, obviously, but it's just a concern to protect your interest.
And I know you're here kind of as a concept, pretty much, anticipating your purchasing of the building. But one thing we are definitely going to need is a site plan. And on that site plan, we're gonna need things shown as like snow storage. When we say snow storage, where are you gonna be piling your snow as you plow it? If you're gonna have a dumpster, that's gonna have to be on the site plan along.
Where did he put his snow? I mean, I'm not understanding any of that.
We don't know, but in order for us.
So it wasn't a big deal then, now it's a big deal now? That's, I'm just wondering, because none of that was on the checklist, because we gave a site plan, we submitted that.
Oh, yes, it is on the checklist.
Yes, yeah.
It is on the checklist, and you didn't give us a site plan, you gave us a survey.
Well, what's got to be on the site plan, and it's all on that sheet, what member is referring to, it had everything checked, what you're supposed to be checking off this sheet right here, Mr. Scobus. And nothing was really checked off on there, so striping of the parking lot, snow storage, if you're going to have a dumpster, where's it going to be? If you are going to have a dumpster, it has to be in an enclosure. Those are the things that we're going to need to see.
So this is meant to be a collaborative process at the early stage. Tell us about the business, we tell you what the village needs to approve the final site plan. The business was there for a number of years, and there's things that are now in the code that might not have been there before. At any time, change in use comes through like this, we have to cross our Ts and dot our Is.
Yeah,
Because, you know, we're the village and we have our codes. So that's kind of what we're going through with you today. And that's why we thought concept approval, where, you know, the overall concept of the business could get approved tonight. I'm not a voting body. They vote for it. Could get approved tonight. And then you come back with the proof that everything discussed tonight is done and the final thing is approved.
Okay.
Kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah, so Mr. Scubas, what legal counsel Elba has said, that dry cleaning business was there for at least 40 years, at least, probably even
More than that, yeah. His father owned it before him.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of codes have changed since then, and the building itself, property lines, that would even be allowed to be built for the codes today, but that is a pre-existing building. However, certain other things have to conform to what the codes are now, and that's what we talk about, letting us know where you're going to store the snow. And that's just the easy, I'm sure you're going to store it towards the west end of the property. But that's all we need to see that on the site plan. This is going to be our snow storage area. This is going to be where our dumpster is going to be. Our striping for our parking lot. You got to have the striping to meet the code, and I'm sure the building department will work with you on that. But that all needs to be on the site plan.
Did you say striping? For
Striping.
I believe that's a stone parking lot.
And it was blacktop.
Was it blacktop? Okay.
But also that parking lot needs some work too. So that is all the stuff that we need, and why we need it on a site plan, and we require it on a site plan, so the building department has something to enforce. If we approve this without any of that on there, they cannot go there and do their job as code enforcement, because nothing was ever put on the site plan for approval by this board. And that is one thing that we've been trying to do for the last 8 years, is to make sure that everything we discuss as a board gets put on the site plan, so the building department has something to enforce. Believe me, we're all for the project. We don't want to see an empty building sitting there, but we need to clean it up a little bit. It needs some TLC, and I think you got to agree to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're not, asking you to put $200,000 into the place, but, obviously the painting, the cleaning up the property.
So is there a checklist that you guys are going to give me that I have to, how's this going to work?
It's basically if you went through this, and,
Well, with the painting of the building inside, that's on there?
no, that's not on that, but that's going to be one of the stipulations from the board tonight.
That's what I'm saying, though. Can you guys write that down and think
We're on,
stipulation?
we're on the record here.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
get you a
Yep,
copy
it's all
of the
public
minutes.
record.
Okay.
Don will have that for you.
Yes,
Yeah, I can provide all that to you.
Yeah, because that's going to have to go back to the seller and things of that such.
Yeah.
Because that's negotiation right there.
correct.
Then we're not going to be paying what he, you know what I mean? That's a
Yeah.
whole nother ballgame right there. All right.
Yep. I mean, as far as, cleaning up the property, that's minimal cost, but yeah, the painting, making sure that roof,
The roof,
yes,
what Bob mentioned.
Yes.
That's a concern.
correct,
That's a big concern of ours.
yes, yes.
That's understandable.
I mean, and pointing the block here and there, not a big thing, but, it needs to be done. And again, it's, if you're going to be purchasing this building, it's going to be for your own protection down the road, too. Any large amounts of hazardous material, flammable liquids.
Just a little bit of gasoline that's in the motorcycles.
And I believe, Diane, we mentioned it's going to have an oil separator.
Yeah, there has to be a floor drain with an oil separator in case you have a spill in the building itself. Oil separator catches any contaminants, and it goes into the sanitary sewer, not the storm sewer from there.
Okay.
Now, I know Ron in his letter mentioned sales. Are you going to be doing any sales? Nothing. Okay.
Not yet, right now, and if I need to get to that point, I'll come in front of you guys again, but I'm at a point of a repair. I'm small. I gotta start small.
Right, right.
I ain't got money to go out and buy bikes and put them up, and that's not,
Okay. What about any outside storage, like old tires, body parts, anything? Okay. That's all I have.
One thing in your environmental impact statement that was submitted, okay, it says here that, it says, property is a former dry cleaners. According to the seller, it is environmentally clean, but I am not privy to the report of this. We would probably need substantiation of the report.
the phase 2 and 3 or whatever that.
No, this is just, the DEC probably did a report making sure there was no contamination left over from the dry cleaner.
Okay.
So he's probably got that paper somewhere, just need a copy of it.
Okay, easy enough.
And I'm sure that may be required even before your closing, too.
Yeah, you want to make sure that
I'm sure it
there's
is.
nothing there.
Yeah. Questions from the board?
Yes, Mr. Scubis, I have a question. What kind of lighting are you going to have over there?
Pardon, lighting?
Yeah, are you going to have any lighting around your building?
No, just the main sign out front, and then the lighting that's already in the building.
Okay, is there going to be a lot of noise associated with this?
Normal motorcycle noise that you start up.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Legal, Sam?
Nothing from me. Just make sure when you come back with the stipulations, they pass it with stipulations, cross every T, dot every I, meet the requirements. I've seen too many projects fail because the applicant didn't listen. You're listening. You're asking where to get the notes. I'm not worried about that. Just word of caution.
All right, very good.
So, quick question for the board. When you're asking for the paint and stuff, are you looking for a particular scheme that you want him to provide, or are you just talking about repaint the building with whatever color he wants?
Repaint the building,
A
correct?
scheme, that's my business, it's my choice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is there something, that's specific?
I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
Well,
don't.
No,
sometimes you
he's saying it's
require
fine.
parapets, you require stone on the front, aesthetics.
Oh,
Is there gonna be any type of aesthetics that you're gonna require for this?
I don't think we could, it's an existing building.
No, we're not asking a national corporation to make their building prettier in the neighborhood connect. This is a small business.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you've seen the paint is peeling all over the place
Yeah.
there, so I mean, yeah, it needs painting. I mean, it's gonna help
That's simple
you.
enough, that's not the image that I'm going to give, I'm running a business.
Right, right. So. Code enforcement. Don?
The only thing, like we already discussed, any type of repairs, roof, drainage systems and stuff to be addressed. The oil separator going into the sanitary sewer would be required. A diagram of the striping of the parking lot for us to review. You gotta make sure you have handicap accessibility, obviously, at least one space for that business. And layout of the dumpster, snow staging, And I know you said you're not gonna have any parts left over, but if you think there may be of any kind, a staging area for that, a small corral or something, a fenced-in area that you could put the carcass of an old lawnmower or something, or a motorcycle
We
chassis.
bury the carcasses, right?
Yeah.
I'm teasing people.
Just a place to store that stuff, if you think it could happen, you may want to put that on your conceptual plan.
All right.
Obviously, there's no public concerns and comments. At this time, there will be a motion from the board.
I, Member Matuza, make a motion to make a recommendation to the village board to accept the concept site plans with the stipulations that were listed by the building department and code enforcement.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion by Member Matuzak, seconded by Member Agner, to approve the conceptual site plan. We have a roll call vote, please.
Member Egner?
Aye.
Member Fedorovich?
Aye.
Member Morowski?
Yes.
Member Matuzik?
Yes.
And Chairman Maciejewski.
Yes, 5-4, motion's carried. So what we're doing is we're telling you we agree with your concept. You just have to come back with that site plan showing what has to be on that plan, and then do what needs to be done as far as painting, the restriking of the blocks, having that roof checked, which again, I'm sure just for your buying purposes, you're gonna wanna do, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, we're all for the project, it's just,
So you should, I don't mean to interrupt you, you should, as far as the roof, you might want to get a reputable company to do an evaluation of the roof and write a report that you can bring back to us. Yes, it needs to be replaced, give us a timeline. No, it's in decent shape, you know. And if you want to throw some pictures in there too, that would probably
Another
help.
bargaining tool for your purchase. And same thing
I'm in.
with, because most places will do that and give you a free estimate, so you got a little more stuff. Same with the painting and, you know, the outside exterior work, so.
With the environmental concerns, if he doesn't have anything and he's just like, I cleaned it up, you could talk to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. You could file a FOIL request with them, or you could just go in and say, hey, I'm buying this building. Do you have anything on it? I need to see it.
And that came from the environmental?
So that's who regulates this.
Okay.
Because the laundromat, you know, I think he probably told you there were things he had to do. There would be record of that. We deal with the DEC all the time, and one thing they're good at is keeping records of
yes.
environmental issues and remediation of those, so.
All right.
And as Member Borowski said, I mean, a lot of these things that we're bringing up to you are obviously probably gonna work to your advantage for your bargaining.
Okay.
You know, we hope this all works out for you, and, you know, look forward to having you in the Village of Depew.
One step at a time though, right, guys?
Yes.
All right. Am I all set? Or?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes, thanks very much.
Get out of here now.
Have a good night.
Guys, thank you for
Good
your
night.
time.
Have a good evening. With that, a motion is in order to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Member Igner, second.
I second it.
Second by Member Matuzak. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Meeting is adjourned at 7:20 PM. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.